Welcome to Yidris Thunderdome. As far as our opening hit, yes, we'll keep on this one. We've got Kodama's Reach, we've got Arcane Signet, and we've got a Scurry land, which is pretty nice. So let's go and lead off with some Scurry, some Fever, just a little bit of Insanity, and we'll definitely put that Descend into Madness on top of our library. So anything else, we're going to go ahead and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, welcome to some Yidris Thunderstorm, or at least Thunderdome. Hope you're excited to get some good storm action going and ride on a horse with no name. So let's lead off with City of Brass. I think that'll be good. Yeah, let's do this. So let's go for Farseek. And just a heads up, Farseek, you cannot put that into a mono green deck. That does not work that well at all. I did that one time. I was like, crap. I put it in a mono green deck because I was just 2 mana ramp spell. Okay, put it in there and then go on to something else. And I was like, oh yeah, that does not fetch a forest. So just to save yourself a little bit of trouble, just giving you a heads up. And I guess at this point we've got more green in the hand, so let's just go and grab ourselves let's grab a breeding pool. We'll have that come into play tap. Not going to pay 2, and then pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Yidris. The Maelstrom Wielder, the man who rides on a horse with no name. Yidris has trample. We have to discard a card, so I guess at this point, what we'll probably discard is, because we like Oracle, Arcane, Kodama's Reach, Empty the Warrens. I guess we just get rid of, well, yeah, we can get rid of Empty the Warrens. Actually, yeah, we'll get rid of Cyclonic Rift. Seems like a goofy play, but I feel like we can, by the time we need to rift everything back to our opponent's hand, I feel like we should be able to win and the Bear Umbra, yeah. I'll take that. So we go, yeah, we still need to end up going Kodama's Reach, so we'll cast Kodama's Reach. It's going to allow us to get a land drop down for the turn and get a land onto the battlefield, which will really kind of help us out, at least kind of dodge that Rotting Rat. So let's grab ourselves a mountain. And just, yeah, we'll need to grab ourselves a force, especially with that Bear Umbra. So let's put force on the battlefield, mountain into our hand, make the land drop for the turn, and then anything else, pass it over to our opponent. So we're playing Yidris, the man who rides on a horse with no name, trample. Whenever Yidris deals combat damage to a player, as you cast spells from your hand this turn, they gain Cascade. And look at that art. I love it. It's just a beautiful, not necessarily throwback, but it just looks like old Magic cards that I grew up with. It's pretty cool. All right, so we got Rotting Rat coming in from 1. So if you are keeping score at home, you can update the Rotting Rat section of your scorecard. They are at 1 total Rotting Rat damage. So pretty cool. Do we want... I think, yeah, let's give Yidris a shot. I think that'll work out. So we actually end up going Arcane Signet, and then we make the land drop down for Arid Mesa. Let's go Yidris. That's going to be Arcane Signet. And actually, we'll tap down. So it's going to be blue, green, and then we'll tap down Signet for red, and then City of Brass for black. So we'll have old Yidris come down, and at this point, we're going to hold on to Oracle and hold on to this fetch land. So that at least gives us some sort of option for next turn. So anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. Play gets Gisa. Okay, they do have removal. That's a bummer. I was hoping they didn't, but sometimes when you're playing Yidris, this is a ramp deck. You're going to get a lot of mana on the battlefield. Sometimes you just need to go for it and risk the option of them having removal. So we got the little reset button hit on us. So playing against Gisa and Geralf, whenever they enter the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then during each of your turns, you may cast a zombie creature card from your graveyard. And they've got 3 cards left in the hand. They don't really have a ton of action going at this point right now. Let's see if they get anything lucky. Stronghold Assassin. Now that Stronghold might actually be a... No, that's a good thing. Destroy target non-black creature. So Yidris is definitely going to be able to die. Oh, and then Lightning Greaves. That's exactly what we wanted to see, because that helps us kind of dodge some tap-out effects. So at this point right now, we've got Oracle. So that's going to be green. Yeah, we'll tap down Arcane Signet. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Let's have Oracle come down. And then on top of our library is Thought Flare. So yeah, I think we'll still end up going for Lightning Greaves. Yeah, and let's do this. So let's go and crack Arid Mesa. That way we can at least cash in. Maybe we can get an extra land off the top. We're okay on green. Let's grab ourselves a Tropical Island. And that's going to be Blood Mist. Let's go for Lightning Greaves. And this way, because Yidris is going to cost 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's go Lightning Greaves on Oracle, and then anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. So Could swing in for 2, but Gisa and Geralf is over there with their farm tools, and we don't really want to run Oracle into a bunch of farm tools. That doesn't sound too good. She's better served getting us lands off the top of our library, so that's what we're going to bank on. But yeah, we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to go over to the Yidris Thunderdome and ride on a horse with no name, or at least have Yidris show you how to make one of these awesome little, not teamer, but a whatever 4-color ball that is, magic ball, hey, head on over there. He'll show you how to make it. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. Go to inkgaming.com/jolt and get anything off the website to treat yourself and help support the channel at the same time. Or you can click down on the link down in the description below. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to get your name at the beginning or the ending of the credits to help support cool content like this, there's a link down below. Or if you want to get your hands on some of these sweet tokens, I do a token drop each month. Make sure that you're a patron of my Patreon. You'll be automatically entered into the giveaway. So there we go. Now we do have to go for a discard, and this is a question. So we've got Yidris, and we've got Empty the Warrens for like 2, but Bear Umbra is going to allow us to get a lot of extra mana going forward, especially untapping those lands. So I think at this point, oh, this is a tough one. Yeah, I think we can survive what our opponent's got going on. So let's get rid of Empty the Warrens, because just the thought of being able to get Bear Umbra onto Yidris protected sounds pretty good, so we'll kind of see what's happening. So, and the plus of being able to swing in for a 3/4, and they're going to unearth it for, excuse me, yeah, they're going to have the unearth ability, so either way, it's not really going to matter. So we'll get rid of Bear Umbra, and then next turn, we're going to go for Yidris, and slam those Lightning Greaves onto Yidris, and start swinging in at our opponent. So this is going to be an extra trigger on Carrion Feeder. And we've got a pretty sizable board today. That's going to be 8. That's going to put us down to 15. We're going to need to get some sort of action on our side of the battlefield pretty soon. So let's see what we rip into for the turn. It's going to be, oh yeah, excuse me, Blood Mist. It's on top of our library. So let's go for Yidris. Yeah, I think that's good. That's going to be Arcane Signet, tap down for black, and then 1 and 2. And we'll be able to get Lightning Greaves onto Yidris, which would be a pretty good option for us. So let's get Yidris down. Let's go for Lightning Greaves onto Yidris. And I guess we'll still go and swing in for 5. I mean, that puts him swinging in potentially another 8 next turn, but I think we can survive that. And yeah, we're cool. I mean, I'm just going to swing in with it for 7 because we don't really have a ton of ways to deal damage in this deck, but it's also another way to where, if we can get their life total down low with a little pop shot for 7, we'll take it because we're not going to be blocking with Oracle because that really gives us some really nice advantage to set up the top part of our library. Even just simply just knowing what we're about to storm into, and then if we go for Blood Mist next turn, we might end up doing that. We'll just kind of see what's going to happen. Now, we do have a Dark Ritual on top of our library, so if we connect with Yidris, that's going to allow us to go for either Wheel of Fortune or Ancestral Recall or Ancestral Vision. I can't remember which one it is, but it's the 0 cost one. So that's going to allow us to generate some really nice value. So we'll see what we can happen. If we hit Ancestral, either one's going to be pretty... Now, we do have Mana Crypt in here, so we'll see what we're about to run into. All right, so Dark Ritual... Yeah, and if we end up going for Blood Mist, I'd love to go for it, but since Lightning Greaves gives Yidris Shroud, that's really not going to do anything. So we might as well just see what we're about to wheel into. So let's go and swing in with the Yidris. We're going to swing in for 5. If they want to block with Skin Render, they can. That's going to allow us to get the Cascade trigger, which is very important to us. So there we go. So we got the Maelstrom Wielder trigger. Let's go for Dark Ritual. And keep our fingers crossed we don't run into Mana Crypt. If we do, it's not bad, but it's not really what we want. Oh, yes, that's exactly what we want to see. All right, so we're going to go Ancestral Vision. Oh, that is beautiful. All right, so Dark Ritual is going to give us that 3 blue mana. I mean, that 3 black mana. Let's make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be Island. And let's go for Mystical Tutor, because then we can set up a Frantic Search potentially. Yeah, I kind of like that. So we're going to go Mystical Tutor. That's going to be a Cascade trigger. And then we will play, we will definitely cast Mana Crypt. So we're going to cast that. Let's go Mystical Tutor. And I'm trying to figure out exactly what we want to put on top because that Frantic Search is going to allow us to go for that. And I think what we'll probably end up doing is just going for Temporal Trespass. Yeah, I mean, as much as I would love to assemble a Stormwind right now, Temporal Trespass, we've got 9 cards in the graveyard. That's really going to allow us to kind of bounce back from that. So let's put Temporal Trespass back on top of our library. Let's go for Frantic Search. And then we need to untap. We'll tap down blue and just add a little bit more blue to our mana pool. And then, oh, I meant to use some of that black mana. All right, so it's going to be that. Let's get the Cascade trigger off Frantic Search. Oh, you know what? I goofed up on that one. We put Temple Trespass on top, but that messed up the Cascade option. So I do apologize. That was definitely a misplay on my part. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. So that's a little bit better for us. We'll discard Blood Mist, and we'll discard Nature's Lore. Untap 3 lands. Let's untap Temple of Plenty, Breeding Pool, and Volcanic Island. We'll go for Wheel of Fortune. And that'll be 1, 2. Yeah, that was definitely a misplay on my part. I'm sorry about that. Canopy Cover. We can't cast that. And I guess if we're going to try to storm off, we might as well just go and cast some of this other stuff. So I will go Canopy Cover on Skin Render and see what we rip into. Okay, so Toxic Deluge, Aetherflux Reservoir. And I think we can actually just get this down. And that's going to allow us to gain some life. Yeah, that'll work out. So let's go Aetherflux Reservoir. That's going to be Cascade. We'll cast Spellskite. Have Aetherflux Reservoir come down. Let's go for Vampiric Tutor. That's going to be Aetherflux Reservoir trigger. That's going to be Aetherflux Reservoir. And yeah, I think that's good. We could go for a board wipe, but I kind of like that. Yeah. We'll go and cast Wheel of Fate. It's going to put us back up to 17. And Wheel of Fate. Oh, Tendrils of Agony. Okay, there we go. And Vampiric Tutor, we're going to put 1 card on top of our library. And I guess at this point... And we run into that Temple Trespass. Okay, so if we want to put something on top of our library, we'll just grab Ritual. We'll go for Temporal Trespass. That's going to be blue. Okay, we were able to dodge that goof up earlier. Yeah, one of the things about, I have like 100 commander decks that I play. And so there's just sometimes to where I've little interactions like putting something on top and then sequencing a Cascade trigger. That just kind of happens sometimes. I don't enjoy it. But let's get the Aetherflux Reservoir trigger. We're going to have the Temporal Trespass trigger. We'll go and cast a Ritual, which actually I think that's going to allow us to close the game out now that I think about it, because that's going to be 5 mana to our mana pool. Oh, look at that. Beautiful turn. We can go for Aetherflux Reservoir, but we're just going to go for Tendrils of Agony because I love Tendrils of Agony. That's a fun card. So we're going to get the Aetherflux Reservoir trigger. We're going to get the Cascade trigger and the Tendrils of Agony trigger. Same targets. Look at that. Huge shout out to our opponent for sticking this one out. There's a lot of times where you go to storm off with Yidris and your opponent kind of scoops up. So if you do see this video, thank you very much for allowing us to get this going and showing it off. It always feels pretty good to get this happening. That's going to be boop, boop, boop. Get the Tendrils of Agony triggers, and I think that should be lethal. Yeah, that's going to be it, just right there. And just in case we didn't have enough, we still got an Aetherflux Reservoir coming down. So you can see our opponent had us down to 6. Even if a goof up from my part of putting the wrong thing on top of our library, this deck is very forgiving sometimes, where you just kind of just start to go for it. And we basically were able to kind of keep this chain going and close the game out. Even if we don't hit that Tendrils of Agony, we're going to be able to get Aetherflux Reservoir. And then we've got the what is it? The Temporal Trespass. This is one of the best cards you can be running in Yidris. Simply being able to delve away your graveyard and take an extra turn. And then plus with that, that's going to be 8. That's 11 total mana. There's a lot of things that you're going to be able to cascade into and really get this thing kickstarted. So huge shout out to the Magic Gods for giving us some really good draws in that game. And if you enjoyed the Thunderdome, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Yidris Thunderdome. As far as our opening hand goes, we do have 2 lands. We've got 1,000-Year Storm. And do we want to keep on this one? Now, if we don't start ripping lands, we are in a very, very bad place. But this is, let's keep on this one. Hopefully, if you are keeping score at home, now's the time to officially pray to the Magic Gods that they treat us well with our upcoming draw. So hopefully we run into a piece of ramp or just something to help get this game going. Nothing major utility. Let's see what we draw into. This will be an indication. Chart of course. Okay, yeah, that's good. Let's lead off with Opulent Palace, and then anything else is pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to the Yidris Thunderdome. Hope you're excited to get some good storm action. Maybe ride on a horse with no name. We are playing Yidris, the Maelstrom Wielder. Trample. Whenever Yidris deals combat damage to a player, as you cast spells from your hand this turn, they gain Cascade. Playing against the Knight of Windgrace. And let's see what we draw into. Oh, there we go. looks pretty good. Let's go Bayou, and since we have no way to get any sort of attack step going, we're going for Chart a Course. Chart a Course is basic. Oh, yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we actually have access to 5 total mana. Hopefully we can get in a 1,000-Year Storm pretty quick. I think that sounds pretty good. Now, what are we trying to dump? So we actually have access to Careful Consideration. I really do like Bear Umbra. I think what we'll probably do is get rid of Assault Strobe. Assault Strobe is nice, but since we do have a 1,000-yard storm, look how long that is. Since we do have a 1,000-year storm, we don't necessarily need to get super crazy with Yidris swinging in. So there we go. Playing gets the Knight of Windgrace, Vigilance, and then for a 3-mana activation, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with Vigilance. Then for a black activation, tap X, untap knights you control, destroy target creature with power X or less. So did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to go over to the Yidris Thunderdome and ride on a horse with no name, hey, head on over there. There's a line right now, but we'll certainly get you in. And also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. You can go to inkgaming.com/Jolt or click down on the link in the description below. That'll apply the coupon, so that way if you haven't treated yourself in a long time, make sure that you do. And we run into Artful Dodge. Okay. But yeah, check out Ink Gaming. So we got Mana Confluence, which kind of keeps us open on Limdul's Vault if we want to kind of jam some stuff. I think we might end up doing that because we want to definitely set up Yidris. So I guess it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go for Mana Confluence, and then we'll pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, we'll go for Vault to make sure that we can at least get down Yidris next turn. I think that'll be a pretty good option for us. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to get your name at the beginning or the ending of the credits, if you'd like to get your hands on some of these sweet tokens, I do a token drop each month. And if you're a patron of my Patreon, you're automatically entered into the giveaway. Hey, head on over there. There's a link down in the description below. And if you can't do that, hey, no problem. Just tell somebody about the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So, it is officially free time. We can have some fun. Let's go for Limdul's Vault. Almost forgot about Limdul's Vault. Almost. Not completely, but almost did. All right, so let's go Limdul's Vault. Oh, yeah, during your turn. Well, that's okay. We're still have to go for Mana Confluence. So, it's going to be Arcane Signet, Misty. Is this what we want? So, we're looking at Yidris, and then we can actually Lightning Greaves. This is a pretty nice little hand. We can set up a few more colored sources. Yeah, this is good. Not going to pay any life. And let's make sure that we go Eternal Witness on top. We will put Arcane Signet on top. We'll put Temple of Malady on top, Lightning Greaves on top, and then Misty on top. Now, unfortunately, that's putting Misty on there. That's going to shuffle everything away. But the main thing is that we want to get a source to get down Yidris next turn, and that's pretty much what we were looking for. So, because if we grab that temple, then it doesn't really help us. I guess technically we could have paid more life to dig a little bit deeper, but hitting the first, a fetch land that allows us to go for Yidris felt pretty good. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go Misty. The other stuff is would have been good to have, but we've got some pretty good utility options in our hand right at this point right now. So we do need to probably grab a red source. Let's go and grab Taiga Paket, and then we're going to go for Yidris. Keep our fingers crossed. Yeah, if our opponent's got removal, they've got it. We've kind of, if they do have removal, then that kind of puts us into this game plan of going for 1,000-Year Storm, which is almost basically kind of like plan B for the deck. So, let's have Yidris come down, and then anything else, we will pass the turn over to our opponent. And the good thing about 1,000-Year Storm is that we can get down Ancient Tomb if Yidris does stick around. Our opponent does have 5 cards in the hand. We might be seeing some sort of spot removal. But, one of the things you want to do with Yidris is you want to be kind of aggressive with it. So there's going to be some times where you just get down Yidris, and it's just kind of like, hey, if you've got removal, you've got it. If you don't, then we're about to go to town and have some fun. So it's kind of name of the game. And with them going for Cavalry, okay, yeah, that feels pretty good. Yeah, this is good. They have no removal. It may be different. They might have removal, but I feel like it would have gotten used by now. So, okay. So we're staring down a pretty good board state. Artful Dodge does allow us to kind of get past all of their creatures for sure. And it definitely does. And that does allow us to go for Bear Umbra too. I think that sounds pretty good. So we go Ancient Tomb. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Artful Dodge. Yeah, let's go for that. So that's going to be Ancient Tomb. Let's tap down double green, tap down Ancient Tomb. Let's go for Bear Umbra on Yidris. There we go. Let's go for a blue source. with Artful Dodge on Yidris. Okay, and then yeah, let's just go and push in. We're gonna be able to untap our lands. Let's go and swing in. That's gonna give us. Oh, look at this. Oh, beautiful. All right, so we're gonna untap our lands. Let's go and swing in for 7. It's gonna put them down to 21, and then that's gonna allow us to at least get past all of these night tokens out there, which is pretty good feeling. All right, so we're gonna get the Yidris Storm trigger going, and I guess at this point we could go for. We definitely do have spell mastery. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be 3, 4. We could go for careful consideration. I think at this point, yeah, let's just go for 1,000-Year Storm because that's going to catch a lot. And I just really like the thought of us being able to go for that next turn. So let's go Cascade. Let's see what we hit off of 1,000-Year Storm. Oh, Toxic Deluge. That's probably, if we had a tutor, that's exactly what we would. That's exactly what we would have put on top. So that's going to be 2. Click OK. They're going to get an Afterlife trigger, but that's. I mean, if yeah, that. Thank you, Magic Gods. And then anything else will pass the turn to our opponent. So we've got Yidris. All right, opponent's. Oh, Yidris, the man who rides on a horse with no name. We didn't get a lot of storm action going, but when you hit the one card that you need off of a off of a cascade trigger, oh boy, does that feel good. So just kind of how this game's going to play out. Our opponent didn't have removal that turn because they get dumped an entire creature board, stayed out. We connected with Yidris. We got down 1,000-Year Storm. And then next turn, we're going to be able to, just generate some mana. We get to untap our lane. Yeah, that felt good. But yeah, we've got Dark Petition next turn. We've got Careful Consideration, which is going to allow us to dig deeper in our library. We've got 1,000-Year Storm. So even if we don't just immediately close the game out, we're already looking at, we're 2/3 of the way with Commander Damage with Yidris and Artful Dodge. So looks like more than likely we'll be able to close the game out. But yeah, that Toxic Deluge, that felt pretty good. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.